All right, so we are starting our journey of Yellowstone by leaving Yellowstone. We are heading to Jackson Hole, and we're going to drive through the Tetons to get there, and so that'll be pretty cool. And then Dave said it's a pretty cool turnaround point at Jackson, right?
Yes, it's just a cool little town to visit. Have all kinds of neat little shops and stuff like that.
Are we going to eat dinner there? Because if we didn't
eat dinner there.
Good, because we didn't bring anything. Mama, which one are you looking more forward to today? The Tetons or Jackson?
Grand Tetons.
Really? You're looking forward more to the Grand Tetons than a little old town?
There's something up here to look at.
Apparently. Oh, do you see the bald eagle? Look, it's right there. It's right there. It's right there. Ah, I got you.
Where?
Well, we just finished videoing our last video, and then we saw a whole bunch of people pulled over, and we're like, oh, what could it be? And at first we thought it was a moose, because we could only see the female, but then we finally saw our elk. And so I'll turn the camera around in just a second, and you can see our first elk of the trip. All right, so it is our second day in Yellowstone, aka me and Mama's second day in the Tetons, aka everybody's first day in Yellowstone, because this is the first real thing we've done in Yellowstone. But we've been to a couple gift shops, and now, you see how well you can see it, there is a pretty cool waterfall a long way away, and we're debating whether we want to go down or not, because it looks like a long way down, and who knows what we can see. But so far we've had a lot of fun. Pretty cool. Ooh-wee, it smells bad.
Where?
All right, it is our second real day in Yellowstone, and we had a pretty exciting day yesterday. We got to see our first grizzly bear, which I was not really expecting to see. We saw it at the, what do you call it, the mud pits? The mud baths. They smell awful, and I've heard that if you fall in, you will die because they are that hot. But I took a lot of pictures and videos. There's some, it's pretty cool. Just saw the steam coming out of the ground, and then we got to see the bear after that. But then we also did some little, I wouldn't call them hikes. Me, Mama, and John Mark, I guess, did a little bit of a hike. But saw the river. Which river was that, Daddy? Do you know?
I do not remember which river. It may have been the Snake.
It may have been the Snake River.
It's the Grand Canyon of...
It's the Grand Canyon of Yellowstone is what we went to, and it was really cool. I took a lot of pictures of how like the rocks were like yellow. I'm wondering if that's why it's called Yellowstone. But overall, we saw some pretty cool stuff, some cool waterfalls, and hopefully we'll see even more exciting stuff today. Like, this water is so clear you can barely see it.
It's flowing all down there.
The entire hillside is covered in water, but you can't tell. Unfortunately, we parked all the way down there, and we came all the way up here to see this. It wasn't worth it. We thought there would be water.
It's a lot of steam. Please don't erupt on us. I think it just go that way, not over here.
You can see everything that it killed last time it erupted. All right, here we are on our way to Cardwell, Montana. Is that what you said, Mama?
Yes.
All right, it's our, I guess yesterday was our last day at Yellowstone, but we're leaving right now. Probably won't have service for a while because Yellowstone just doesn't do that apparently. But I think it's been a pretty great trip. Olivia, what's been your favorite thing that you've seen in Yellowstone? Whether it be an animal or a thing we went to go see.
Probably one of the geysers.
Which one?
Faithful or Grant?
Grand we stayed and we waited and we waited and waited for an hour and a half. Got sunburned.
I didn't.
And it was pretty cool once it went off. We all got wet. But it was pretty cool. John, what's your favorite thing that you saw?
Prismatic pool.
We didn't even see much of the prismatic pool. You couldn't see anything, John Mark. Let's see. So in the video, y'all will see what we saw of the prismatic pool. This is what it's supposed to look like. That is not what we saw. That is not at all what we saw. Mom, what was your favorite thing?
All the animals and just the beautiful scenery.
What were your favorite animals that we got to see?
Probably the elk, because we don't see elk very often.
That's true. We got to see a lot of elk. We saw 2 cinnamon bears and a lot of buffalo. We saw 2, what were they, marmons yesterday? Marmots yesterday. We also saw an osprey. And we've seen a lot of ground squirrels. And chipmunks. And a lot of people, like we were, where were we? We were in Jackson Hole. And this one couple had to look up what a squirrel was. I thought that was pretty interesting. I was like, you don't know what a squirrel is? That's kind of crazy. Daddy, what's your favorite thing that you've seen or done at Yellowstone?
Probably actually one of our trips down to the Grand Tetons, that beautiful sunset. It was incredible.
Yes, the sunset was really cool. My favorite thing, I liked seeing the bears. I thought that was pretty cool. And then the Tetons were probably my favorite part. Going, and me and Mama went out and took pictures, and we saw some pretty cool stuff out there. We didn't see any animals. We drove and drove and drove and drove and drove, and we didn't see anything for 8 hours. But it is what it is. So overall, it was a very, very cool part of our trip, and I can't wait to go to Glacier tomorrow. So right here in the mountain, it literally, the water just flows from inside the mountain. The rock is so porous, he said, that it just goes through the mountain instead of over like a waterfall. And it just comes out there and goes down there, all the way down that wall. Out here walking along this, it's actually pretty cool. We have found John Mark in his natural habitat. Now let's see how far away we are. Right here. And he is way over there. What is this? Right, here I go. That's a rock right there. Oh! Oh my goodness, this is so fast! Wow! Ah! How do you stop? How do you stop? How do you stop? I'm not stopping! Oh! My butt is so cold! Alright, we have spent the past few days in Glacier National Park. And where is Glacier, Daddy?
It's in Montana, big sky country.
Upper Montana, almost to Canada. There was a spot where we could almost see Canada, right, Daddy? Like
We
that
probably
close.
did see Canada at some point.
Yeah, it was up in there. I didn't realize this, but the park is shared by both the U.S. and Canada. It's mainly in the U.S. There's like a little bitty spot in in Canada, which I thought was pretty interesting once we found that out. So we've done quite a bit. Mama, why don't you tell us what your favorite part in Glacier has been?
Just the beautiful sights, but also seeing the mountain goats and the bighorn sheep in their natural environment. But the beauty of it was incredible.
Yes, it was. And that reminds me of some animals that we hadn't gotten to see that we finally got to see. We got to see the bighorn sheep, the males, and then we also got to see a moose and another bear yesterday, which was pretty cool. Yesterday was probably our last chance to see a moose, and we ended up seeing one outside of the park on the way home. Yeah, it was a bull moose too, which was pretty cool. Olivia, what's been your favorite part?
Probably seeing the moose.
Seeing the moose was your favorite?
I was expecting to see it.
All right, what about you, John Mark?
Sliding down the mountain.
Sliding down the mountain? That was a whole lot of fun, and playing around in the snow, which I don't know about you, but I was not expecting to be playing in the snow in early July this summer, but hey, we got the chance to do it, so we did. Dave, what's been your favorite part?
Well, the beauty of the glacier was pretty cool. I really enjoyed the hike. It was a hard hike that we did yesterday up to Hidden Lake, but it was 3 miles, probably 2.75 of it in snow, so that was kind of cool.
Yes, that was definitely my favorite part, was playing in the snow, hiking in the snow, sliding down. If I ever come back, I will make sure that I bring a sled that I can actually slide down and not get my butt soaked, because that part was not fun about it, walking around with a soaked butt the entire day. But other than that, it was a pretty great trip up in Glacier. Any other comments on this trip?
I can't wait to go back one day.
Go back. Now, the one thing that we didn't do was we didn't jump off into the glacier, which we were planning on doing, but we didn't end up doing that. And also, we didn't end up, like, when you look at the glaciers, you can't really, they're not what you think they are. It looks like it's just more snow in the mountain, but it turns out that's a glacier, which is not what I expected. I expected a giant block of ice that's on the edge of an ocean or something that's ready to slide down in. That's always what I think of when I think of the glacier, but apparently that's not normally what they are. So we learned a lot, saw some pretty cool stuff, and had a lot of fun.